Oh, jam! Hello, everyone, and welcome to the TMP Nerf Report. Blizzard has announced balance changes in Hearthstone, so you know what that means. That means it's time to grab Mike and his and hop online and tell you all about them and why they're hopefully good.
Yes, hopefully.
In this case, I'm pretty sure they're all good.
Yeah.
So it's the 21st of May. These changes were announced yesterday, and they go into effect tomorrow. So I have a small window to talk about them, which means thank goodness Mike was free tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
But these are rogue nerfs, because as anyone who has been playing at a higher level, or watching people play at a higher level on streams or YouTube, you know that rogues are just everywhere. They're just everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Everywhere.
And following closely behind them, but not that closely, is Control Warrior.
Mm-hmm.
They're just everywhere. They're just everywhere. So, this is punching those two classes, mostly rogue, directly in the face. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm not gonna lie. So first up, we have what I think is the most innocuous change. The Evil Miscreant. He's going from a 3-mana 1/5 that combos 2 lackeys to your hand to a 3-mana 1/4 that combos 2 lackeys to your hand. And what do you think, Mike?
I think it makes sense. I do remember when I first saw Evil Miscreant in the card previews, I was like, 5, that's a lot. And when it shows up on the other side of the board from you, you know, if they don't shadow step it immediately, you feel like you need to go ahead and kill it so they don't shadow step it next turn or the turn after.
Or
and it just feels
it.
really bad. Huh?
Or evolve it.
Or evolve it, that's true.
Because dropping that 1-drop, was that the Witchy Lackey? To turn it into
right.
a 4-drop is just like, oh.
Right. And it just feels bad to spend all the time and effort that's required to kill a minion with 5 toughness. 5 health, rather.
Yeah,
just,
like...
but 4 is a lot more doable. The gap between 4 and 5 is actually pretty significant. And 4 is a lot more manageable.
Like, what just kills it? Like a kill command with a beast on board?
Yeah, a fireball. Yeah, let me fireball that. Let me
which
get right
is a
on that.
horrible waste. Like, you have to buff your wiggle stick. What's the damn card called? A waggle pick?
Yeah.
You have to, like, backstab SI and then hit it with your knife. Like, it's just, it takes so... You have to backstab and then Zilliax. It takes so much to kill the stupid 3-drop that is massively overpowered, but not because of its stat line.
Right.
But the stat line gives it that stickiness to where it's hard to remove so that they can shadow step it or evolve it or what have you next turn and get more lackeys.
Mm-hmm.
We were right when we said that lackeys were going to be insane, by the way, Mike.
Oh, yeah, they're great value. They're awesome.
But this, it doesn't actually... I don't think this hurts the card at all. It just makes it a little bit easier to kill.
Right.
Like, the primary reason to play Miscreant is intact. They didn't, like, nerf it to 1 lackey, because then it would be bad.
Yeah, that'd be really bad.
Then you just play the
It'd be
evil
worse than the
cable
rat.
instead and
Mm-hmm.
go, meh. So yeah, like I said, I think this is probably the most innocuous nerf. It's nice and safe and not... It doesn't really do much, but it does incrementally help, right?
Yeah. It's very reasonable.
Yeah. Which, I have to say, this is a thing that Blizzard has gotten way better at in recent years. You remember when they would nerf cards to oblivion?
Yes.
They don't nerf cards to oblivion anymore. They actually keep them playable for the most part. So nice. Okay, so moving on to our next nerf. This is a big one. Raiding Party. So,
Yeah.
last night, before Monday Night Magic, I asked Bill and Clues, hey, if there was a card that drew you 2 creatures of a very specific type and like an equipment from your deck, what would the converted mana cost on that be? And Bill said, like that, 6.
6. That's what I would have said.
And I
if
went,
you put it that way.
all right. I said, what if it was a... Well, I didn't say this, but I should have said, what if it was a creature type that had real synergies with your color? And he might have said 7. So, yeah. Raiding Party costs 3.
I guess it depends on what it is. Like goblins, no. Beasts, yeah, maybe.
Like, what would Rogue be? Rogue would be black. So what if it drew 2 zombies from your deck? Search up 2 zombies, and what's the equivalent of a weapon in Magic? I don't know. Like
well, let's see. And an aggressive black creature would be vampires, but that would still be really...
Yeah. See, that's my point. I said, it costs 3, and they went, I don't know anything about Hearthstone, but that seems too cheap. I was like, right?
Yeah, you got to set up the combo first, but that's not very hard.
Not really. Especially in Rogue. But so it's going from 3 mana to 4 mana. And I think this is excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Because it costs 3. Like, do you know what I did? When was this announced? Yesterday, which was Monday. Do you know what I did Sunday night? Twice while I was playing on my phone, Mike?
What's that?
On turn 3, I went prep, raiding party, coin. What's a 1-drop in there? The deckhand.
Uh-huh.
Edwin.
Ugh. That's a lot.
So prep, raiding party, coin, 1-drop, Edwin. Is he an 8/8 or a 10/10 at that point? I think he's a 10/10 at that point. It was turn 3. This was not a one-time thing. This was something I did multiple times just that night.
Yeah.
What?
Like I pretty regularly, turn 1, I got nothing better to do, prep raiding party. Sure. Why not? This seems wrong somehow.
Yeah, turn 1, draw 3 cards, and still have your 1 mana free.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, this is dumb, and Rogue right now, Tempo Rogue, Lackey Rogue, depending on what you want to call it, is one of the... It's not really oppressive, but at the higher ranks, it's everywhere. And that's ridiculous. Anytime, like, I'm watching anybody test out a new deck on a stream or on YouTube or something, they queue into Rogue and they're like, oh, good, this is a real test. I'm like, because if you can't beat Rogue with it, there's no point in playing it.
Yeah.
If you're above, like, rank 5.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, it's losing some of its explosive ability to just draw 3 specific cards by going up to 4 mana. So you can no longer... Ignoring the next nerf, yeah, we know. But ignoring any other nerfs, you can't just go prep, raiding party, draw a deckhand, play the deckhand on turn 1 anymore. You just can't. And again, that's good, because that's ridiculous. Especially when on, like, let's say turn 3 you don't even prep, you just go like backstab that raiding party, next turn you have the wiggle stick to hit somebody with. And because you're raiding party, you've got at least 1 Dread Corsair in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
So you go wiggle stick, Corsair, hit them for 4, go.
Yeah. It took me far too long to realize that the reason they always had 2 Corsairs was because that's what raiding party. I'm like, why do they always have two Corsairs? And finally, it's like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah. So yeah, the raiding party is going up to 4 mana, which again, it doesn't kill the card, although it might. Let's be real.
I mean, it still says draw 3 very specific cards.
Very true. But now the cheapest you're gonna get it is 2 because of the next nerf.
Yeah,
but
spoilers.
But like the reason that this rogue deck is so prevalent and so powerful, and it's because of these explosive starts they can get, and have this one like giant tempo turn. That's not the only reason, but the raiding party wiggle stick Corsair turn is a pretty big deal. Like, let's not fool ourselves and say, Rogue will be fine with that. They might not be. We don't know yet. Especially when you take into account this. Preparation has been... I don't understand why this nerf took so long. Like,
it's because I think it's... I know it's come up before. They know it's... they see it as a key card that really... shows what the rogue class is, and there were long periods of time where it wasn't a important thing. Unfortunately, we are in one of the periods of time where it's an auto include in any deck that's actually serious. It's because of the nature of the spells that you want to be playing.
Yeah, it's been an auto include in many different oppressive rogue decks, let's be real. Yes. Over the years. And like when they nerfed Innervate, I remember looking at Prep and going, like, make that cost 1, or make it nerf for 2. Hey, look! Preparation is going from the next spell you cast this turn costs 3 less to the next spell you cast this turn costs 2 less. So you know in Magic, we've got this card called Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual's fine, right? It's all
completely fine.
Yeah, Dark Ritual's completely fine. It's all these 3-mana black cards that are the problem. Dark Ritual, for those that don't play Magic and you're still somehow watching this, says you pay 1 black mana, you get 3 black mana out of it. It's like what Innervate was. You net 2 mana. Dark Ritual has not been printed in a long time, has it?
It's been a long time. It was printed in Mercadian Mass. It was printed in Urza's Saga. And I think that was it. I think Urza's Saga was it.
It was in M25 as a normal card?
Yes, it was in M25.
Really? Why do I not remember that?
I don't know.
Oh, Masters 25. You say M25, I think of Magic. And I'm like, wait, no, it's 2019. What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah. In a few years, that's going to get confusing, isn't it?
Duh. Anyway. So yeah, that card, in the early days of Magic, was busted beyond all reason, but for some reason, instead of banning it, they used to ban all the things that cost 3 black mana.
Yeah, because they also saw the ritual as iconic for the color black.
Exactly.
And demonstrating part of what it's all about.
But an Innervate in Hearthstone was that. You net 2 mana for 1 card. Well, they nerfed that because that's too damn good. And yet Preparation has been around since the beginning. And I'm like, really?
Yes, it only works on spells. But a +3 ritual is a huge jump in mana production.
Yeah. So, now it says, what if this costs 2 less? Hey! And I think this is much more fair. It's still a powerful card.
Yes.
But, like, the ability to sprint for 4 mana?
That was something I found offensive. That was just...
Yeah, the ability to vanish for 3 mana? Like...
Yeah, that too.
And they even say here in some of their stuff, Wait. Here we go. Reducing the cost of your next spell by 2 as opposed to 3 opens our design options up a little more to create higher cost rogue spells without having to balance so closely around the assumption that they'll be cast alongside preparation. Because they couldn't just make some cards in rogue cost 3 or 4, because that means they're free or cost 1.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this paired with the raiding party nerf means raiding party now costs 2 at least. And I think that makes it a fair card because you're drawing 3 very specific cards from your deck.
Right.
For 2 mana, shut up. Again, that might mean that the Tempo Rogue as we know it just isn't fast and oppressive enough to cut it anymore, but like we'll see. The Miscreant with 4 health is still a force to be reckoned with because again, the stat line was not the most powerful part of this card.
Mm-hmm.
It was the getting to lackeys because lackeys are busted and stupid and amazing. Like, have you seen that there are a lot of rogue lists now? They're running the Spirit of the Shark just so they can miscreant for 4 lackeys.
That makes sense.
And then I've seen, oh god, the worst loss I had recently was somebody went with the Spirit of the Shark out. They like did something to trigger combo, and then lackey got 4. Or I'm sorry, miscreant got 4 lackeys, and then cast the evolve guy on it, so it jumped to a 4 and then a 5.
Uh-huh.
And then they cast another one, so it jumped to a 6, then a 7. And I'm sitting here, it's like turn, I don't know, 5, and I'm going, I hate you. I hate you so much. I lost that game.
Yeah.
I think I had a sap, and they went and just played it again once they hit that much mana, because I don't remember what the 7-drop was, but it was one of the bad ones. Like, bad for me. It was one of the good ones. And I'm just going, I can't beat that. Oh, good, I'll sap it. And then their next turn, they're like, play it again? And I'm like... So, yeah, that has possibilities. Again, it's not, like, the best thing ever, but I think Rogue will open up now with these 3 nerfs.
Yeah. I think, oh, let's go to screensaver. I need to remember to turn that off. I don't know if this is something where a bunch of people just abandon the deck completely or still try to keep it going. But I think it'll just become one of the rogue options rather than the only serious option.
I think so. I hope so, anyway. I've heard people talk about like running Hook Tusk instead of the Raiding Party package, which before the the Wiggle Stick, Waggle Pick. There we go. Before the Waggle Pick came out, because that's new in Rise of Shadows, Hook Tusk was a thing that a lot of the top players were experimenting with. Maybe not seriously, but you would see it every once in a while.
Remind me on Hook Tusk.
Hook Tusk recruits a bunch of pirates and gives them charge.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the specifics because I don't even think I own it, and I know I've never played it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but I wouldn't mind seeing Rogue not the worst offender. There have been several times throughout the history of freaking Hearthstone that Rogue was the most oppressive deck. Like without even trying real hard. Like Quest Rogue did it twice.
Gosh, yes.
They had to nerf the Rogue Quest twice because the first time didn't take. Card was still too good. And then Wasn't there a pirate rogue before there was pirate warrior, or after pirate warrior? I can't remember.
Uh, yes, there was.
And of course, in the early days, there was Miracle Rogue.
Hmm.
So Rogue has always been massively OP. And
Oil Rogue.
do what? Oil? Oh God, Oil Rogue. Oh my God! Back when the Blade Flurry hit players too.
Oh yeah.
So
I
yeah,
built a bad version of that deck and still did really well with it.
see, and you know if Mike's doing really well with it, there's a problem. No offense, Mike.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
That's why I brought it up.
Did I say that Hook Tusk gave charge? I meant rush. If so, sorry if I said that. Yeah. Blade Flurry used to hit players. That's what the Oil Rogue deck was. You would. I don't even remember the name of the card. I just remember the oil.
I don't know, something oil.
But it gave a random minion. Was it +2 attack, +3 attack, and combo was and your weapon?
I think the combo was the other way around. It gave your weapon +3, and the combo was it gave a random minion +3.
I knew it was something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you would like prep, oil, swing, Blade Flurry.
Yeah, game's over.
So, yeah. Was that Kingsbane Rogue? Is that what they did to slow down Kingsbane? No.
No, Kingsbane, they slowed it down by making the lifesteal thing only last one turn.
Right. There's another Rogue deck that was a large pain. So yeah, Rogue keeps getting nerfed.
Blade Flurry got changed a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. Oh yeah, Kingsbane was relatively recently, wasn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that just rotated when the weapons did. Right. Excuse me. I get all these Rogue decks confused because I hated them all. But yeah, oh God, I remember the Oil Rogue actually played Assassin's Blade, didn't it?
Yes. Because
That's
it has
insane.
4 durability.
Yeah,
Which is a lot.
So you'll notice preparation has been a problem for a long time. It's not like the problem, but it always pushes these rogue decks just over the edge into unfair territory by making things cost 3 less. Now they only cost 2 less, which opens up the design space and also slows them down a peg. This might mean we never see Rogue again, but honestly, Rogue has been at the top so long, I don't care. I'm just being real with you. But we're not done yet. There's one more nerf.
One more.
That I personally am happy to see because, so if you look right over Mike's head right there, if you're watching this later on YouTube, there's a little eye and a circle. If you click on that, that'll take you to the video where I was playing a Control Warrior Mirror and we hit the turn limit, which it turns out was crap. What was it?
What is it, like 90 or something?
It was it 90 turns? I can't remember. But yeah, this is it. This one is purely for those control on control mirrors. Archivist Elysiana is going from 8 mana to 9. So now you can't play Elysiana and bounce her back to your hand with Youthful Brewmaster in the same turn, unless you manage to hold your coin the entire game, which you shouldn't do. And you can't play Archivist Elysiana and shuffle a copy of her back into your library with Baleful Banker the same turn. And anyone that's played Elysiana with Baleful Banker knows that she doesn't survive to the next turn.
Right.
She just doesn't. Your opponent always goes, "Ah!" and finds a way to kill her because she's a 7/7 and you're no longer taking fatigue damage, so it's going to kill her. Or she's going to kill them unless they kill it first. So. But yeah. It was really just the Control Warrior deck where this was a problem because games just never ended. I've still only hit the turn limit once, but I have played many Control Warrior many Control Warrior mirrors, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a nightmare. I love them, but after a while, especially that one where I hit the turn limit was my third Control Warrior mirror, fourth Control on Control game in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just so sick of it, and then we both exploded on turn 90, and I went, because of course, what a perfect way to end.
All right.
But yeah, I think Elysiana. So Elysiana is there because Control Warrior was really the main counter to Tempo Rogue, and the Warrior deck had to pile so much, oh god, don't kill me, and I don't want to die, into their deck that they didn't really have a win condition.
Yeah, it just made the games take forever.
So Elysiana was the, hey, here's a win condition. While they're in fatigue, we'll have cards that do stuff. And sometimes you got insane, ridiculous crap from Elysiana, and you won with it. And that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's really hard to get a guaranteed 2 Elysiana, and I'm all for it. I only ever relied on having 2 Elysiana in the Control Warrior mirror. Otherwise, it's...
Right. Because that's the only reason why you'd need, 20 more cards rather than just 10.
Exactly. They say here that Control Shamans can get another copy, another effect with Shudderwalk, but... Woo.
Yeah, I mean, that second one, you might not like what you get, because it's going to make all the discover choices for you.
Yeah, and also it's not as prevalent because the Control Shaman can't beat Rogue as easily. But I think this is just a good idea. I think this being at 8 was kind of stupid anyway. And I'm pretty sure I said that during at least one of those times when I cast Elysiana and bankered her back to my hand, and then I said go, and my opponent cast Elysiana and Brewmastered her back to their hand, and I'm like, this is so stupid. So yeah, this is 3 big rogue nerfs and 1 small Control Warrior. This isn't really a nerf. This is a Control Warrior tweak, I think.
Yeah, just to make it less absurd. Just to make the games not take so long.
Yeah. And the, Hang on. I had something I was going to say. Nope, it fell off. Oh, the tournament scene, when Elysiana first came out, was a nightmare. Because everyone was just playing Control Warrior, and matches were taking years. I'm pretty sure there's a match still going on from that first week of Rise of Shadows. So this is just a common sense change that I think is for the good of the game.
Yeah.
I think prep is a change that is for the good of the game at large. Because they don't change, like, basic and classic cards lightly.
No, it takes a lot of agonizing before they'll do something like that.
Yeah.
Something has to be seriously wrong.
And with preparation, something has been seriously wrong for a seriously long time. These 2 are direct nerfs about the current meta. And I think, like I said at the beginning, the Miscreant's fine. It's just a small, let's make this slightly easier to kill. Lots of times that doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also really disheartening to see coin Miscreant on turn 2. And you're playing basically in a class. You're like, I can't kill that for 2 turns. And that feels bad, man.
Yeah.
And Raiding Party's just a stupid card. Let's be real. When I asked Bill and Clues, and Bill was like, 6, without even thinking. I'm like, exactly.
Right.
Granted, that's in Magic terms, which is completely different, but it's half that. That's not right. So, those are the nerfs. I don't think there's really much else we could say. Is there, Mike? Well, I guess we could talk about the effect this might have on the meta.
Let's see.
Yeah, go ahead.
That was just let's see was just okay. I'm thinking now. I didn't have a follow up to it. Yes.
So what I'm thinking is that with Rogue being less explosive and able to get on the board, take the board, and keep the board for so long and so quickly, I think what that means is decks that can still do that but not as explosively are suddenly better. I think Mech Hunter is going to be better.
Right.
I think Mech Paladin might even do it. The secret package in Paladin, with the 3/4 if you have a secret, and the 3/2 weapon, the fiery war axe if you have a secret.
Yeah.
Those might be good enough now. Those have sort of fallen out of favor, at least as far as I've seen. I think stuff like Token Druid might even make a comeback. Oh God, I hated that deck with a passion.
Has Token Druid been not good lately?
Well, up at I'm at rank 5, and I have not seen that many. Granted, since I tried to make Legend last season and didn't, I haven't played as much this season because it's all rogues and control warriors, and I was like, so this will get me to play more. But I haven't seen as many Token Druids as I did before up here. What else? Conjurer Mage is already pretty good, so that might go up a little bit.
Okay.
Although I think the Cyclone Mage is starting to overtake it as far as popularity.
Oh gosh, yeah. I've run into a few of those. I was like, what was it? It was turn 2 or 3, and suddenly my opponent just started being like, cast this, cast that, freeze my own guy, freeze my own other guy, and I'm like, what in the hell are you doing? And it's
Evocation Cyclone.
Yeah, Invocation Cyclone. I'm like, oh,
yep,
that's what you're doing. And
then their hand goes, brrr, and you go, ah!
Oh yeah, it was a lot of cards.
Because that is the only appropriate response. Muckmorpher, yeah, the big shaman might start doing better because, again, without that, I mean, they still get the insane tempo turn of Wigglestick, Corsair if they continue running the raiding party, because the Waggle Pick is way better than I gave it credit for when it was first previewed.
Yeah, it is very good.
And so they still get that insane tempo turn, but they're not guaranteed it on turn 4 every game.
Right.
Let's see. What else? What are the other classes? Paladin.
I haven't seen a priest opponent in a long time.
Priest?
What's a priest?
Oh god, that freaking Nomi priest showed up for a while, and then I haven't seen it any more since. But it's still out there.
Okay.
Do you know this deck?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but
it's been a long time.
They get out the Auctioneer and then cast every spell known to man, and then the next turn they drop Nomi. And I'm just looking at him like, I can't stop you. I hate you. And then sometimes they go the Grave Titan or whatever it's called, Seance, and I go, ah. But yeah, what I'm hoping this will do, because right now we've got way up here you've got Rogue, right below it you've got Warrior, and then there's like everything else. With Paladin Priest way down at the bottom. But I'm hoping that what this will do is bring Rogue down some and bring everything else up some, so that deck quality is like if you're not playing Rogue or something that's a direct counter to Rogue, you're screwed. I hope that there's a more opportunity for more decks, because a healthy meta means people want to play.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, like I said, I've only been playing to finish my dailies this month, and it's the 21st. Like, that's all I've been doing this month, is finish my dailies.
That's surprising for you. That's very surprising.
Yeah, especially after like I said, last month I was all set. I'm going to push for Legend. I made it to 2, and then I ran out of time. I settled on the Rogue deck and climbed fast, but I didn't have time to finish it. So hopefully the meta will open up, and that's my hope. Mike, what do you think?
I mean, you're a lot more in tune with it than I am, and you play more at the, I guess, what people consider the real tiers of the game. I actually did make it to level 10 this month.
Hey, nice.
For the but yeah, you're right. Paladin. The other decks that want to be explosive but weren't as explosive as Rogue, they're still going to get held down by Warrior to an extent. Because they're just the same as they always were. And the only difference is Warrior doesn't have 2 Elysianas, which doesn't matter against those matchups.
Yeah.
So those won't change. But Warrior isn't impossible to beat. It's not an automatic you lose.
Correct. Yeah.
Because they still have to get lucky with some stuff to actually win the game. They got to get good Elysiana cards. They got to build up worthwhile incremental advantage from Dr. Boom's powers.
Yeah, they've got to get Dr. Boom early.
Yeah.
Because if Dr. Boom is like the next to last card in your deck, you're going to lose.
Yeah.
Trust me on this. I played a lot of Control Warrior. You're going to lose. All right. So, I guess that's it for the Nerf side of the Nerf report. Now, today, they announced more upcoming changes. These aren't balance changes exactly. They're not nerfs. They're buffs. Which is unheard of.
Especially in large numbers like this.
Yeah. So there's an event coming called Rise of the Mech. This starts June 3rd. And everyone is going to get this new legendary creature, Snip Snap, who is a 3-mana 2/3 mech with Magnetic and Echo and a Death Rattle that summons 2 Microbots. Buh. But, that's not the important bit. The important bit is they're taking 2 cards from every class from the Boomsday Project and buffing them. Now, because we're going to have a new meta starting tomorrow, we're not going to go in depth on these buffs right now. What we're going to do is sometime next week on the next episode of the TMP Nerf Report, we're going to go into more detail about these buffs and what they might mean.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, we'll run through them real quick. Gloop Sprayer, dropping from 8 mana to 7. Mulch Muncher, dropping from 10 mana to 9. Okay. In Hunter, Necro Mechanic, I didn't even know what this card was, dropping from 5 mana to 4.
Yeah, I forgot about it totally.
Flark's Boomzooka, dropping from 8 mana to 7. A thing to bear in mind with these, Mike, that was pointed out to me on Twitter, what was in the meta when these were printed that is not anymore?
Death Knights.
Other than that. That should still be in the meta, but is not. Because they got Hall of Famed early.
Even Odd.
Yeah.
So you think maybe they're resetting some of this stuff?
I think that could be. So let's keep going. Mage, unexpected results from 4 mana down to 3. Luna's Pocket Galaxy from 7 mana down to 5. I think this one is going to be big. Crystology from 2 mana down to 1. And Glowstone Technician from 6 mana down to 5. Extra Arms from 3 to 2. Cloning Device from 2 to 1. This might actually see play. But again, we're going to talk about these in depth more next time. Pogo Hopper is going from 2 mana to 1 mana.
Somebody shoot me.
What? Like what? Violet Haze, not to be confused with Violent Haze, which is what Mike will be once these buffs happen. From 3 mana to 2. Shaman, the Stormbringer, is going from 7 mana down to 6. I'm sure Kibler is losing his mind. This one I don't understand. Thunderhead, from a 4 mana 3/5 to a 4 mana 3/6. It found that mana, or that health from the Evil Miscreant. This is insane, but again, more on this later. Spirit Bomb, going from 2 mana down to 1.
I like that.
I think so, yeah. Dr. Morrigan is going from 8 mana down to 6 because at 8 mana she's terrible. Just terrible.
But still obnoxious when she shows up.
Security Rover in Warrior from a 6 mana 2/5 to a 6 mana 2/6. Which is neat.
That's important. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this thing almost always gets you 2 mechs.
Mm-hmm.
Now it has a better shot at getting you 3? Who? And then this last one is also pretty big. The Beryllium Nullifier from 7 mana 3/8 to 7 mana 4/8.
Yeah. It always felt a little dumpy with 3 power, so I like 4.
Yeah, getting this off of Dr. Boom is already almost a backbreaking as a 3/8. You magnetic it onto whatever you've got.
Oh, yeah, if you can stick it onto something, yeah.
But
it's nuts, as is.
Like, going to 4/8, Jesus. Like, not even to put in your deck, just as a thing you get off of Dr. Boom's hero power or Omega Assembly. Ugh. But anyway, yeah. We'll go into these more in depth next week on the next TMP Nerf Report.
More like TMP Buff Report.
What? Oh, you can't. I'm too close. Hang on, let me back up. Welcome, I am Elbow, to the gun show. Oh, God. Okay, that's enough.
I pulled my grounding clip out of the socket. Okay, there we go.
Lord. Also, on June 3rd, when this update happens, the next season of Arena starts up. And it's going to be Classic, Basic, Goblins vs. Gnomes, the Grand Tournament, Karazhan, the Boomsday Project, and Rise of Shadows. Because remember, they've changed Arena to be select classes. And they're changing it, I think they said every twice per expansion, like once when a new expansion comes out and then once partway through. I think is what they said.
Select expansions, not select classes.
Oh, right, yeah, expansions. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was already formulating something else. So yeah, that's cool. Right, and thank you for the 10 bits for my medical fund, Pinball Witch. I appreciate it. It hurt like hell. But there you go. Like I said, on the next buff report, we will talk about these and how they will affect the new meta after Rogue gets knocked down several pegs. Or at least one peg, I hope. Yeah.
Oh crap, I just noticed Snip Snap has Echo. Yikes.
Yeah. And apparently, using the magnetic still triggers Echo, according to Peter Whalen on Twitter, one of the designers.
That's nice.
Yeah. So with that, we'll be done. That was the Rise of Shadows Balance Changes TMP Nerf Report. You looking forward to it, Mike?
Yes, this is gonna get really interesting.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to wanting to play Hearthstone regularly again. Maybe I'll ease up on streaming auto chess and go back to streaming Hearthstone every once in a while. Also, the new single player adventure came out. I got to start streaming that too because people are starting to get impatient. Like, when are you going to play it, Chewie? I'm like, soon-ish. Apparently the Dalaran heist. Yeah, see? Apparently the Dalaran heist is pretty good.
I like it.
So with that, we will be done with the Nerf Report. Come back next week when we do the Buff Report. I never thought I'd ever say that in Hearthstone. Ever. So thank you very much for helping me out as always, Mike.
You're welcome. Thanks for inviting me.
And thank you all so very much for watching. And go play some Hearthstone.